Long live His Majesty the King. May His Majesty live in longevity. With deep respects to His Majesty the King, officials and staff of NBT World.
Thank you for joining us for Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and also on NBT World. It's a Thursday, and the date is December 3rd of 2015. And you're with me, Sandra Hanutsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Minister of Interior Anupong Paujinda has instructed provincial governors to make preparations for grand celebrations of His Majesty the King's birthday anniversary on December 5th. The minister attended a meeting with the provincial governors nationwide on His Majesty the King's birthday celebrations. He stressed that the celebrations, including religious ceremonies and other activities, should befit the royal honor. Highlight of the celebrations include exhibitions and candle lighting ceremonies for His Majesty the King, who will turn 88 this year. As for the Bike for Dad event in honor of His Majesty the King on December 11th of 2015, the minister also instructed the governors to make the best preparations, saying the Bike for Dad activity was one in which everyone comes together to achieve good things for society. Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister General Prawit Suwan has presided over the presentation of Bike for Dad souvenirs to representatives of public and private sector units at the Ministry of Defense. The handing over of these souvenirs took place in front of a photograph of His Royal Highness Crown Prince Maha Vajiralongkorn, who initiated Bike for Dad and will lead the cycling activity in Bangkok. Representatives from 110 public and private organizations have participated in the ceremony. These souvenirs, which consist of a special edition of Bike for Dad t-shirts, pins, and wristbands, will be offered to Bike for Dad bikers who have registered for the activity throughout the country. The organizing committee of Bike for Dad has assigned the Ministry of Defense to undertake the registration of cyclists and the traffic management for the event. The Metropolitan Police Bureau has issued details on road closures to be imposed during the Bike for Dad activity in Bangkok on December 11th. Acting Metropolitan Police Chief Police Lieutenant General Sanit Mahathawon opened a press conference to announce road closures in certain areas of the capital on December 11th, when the Bike for Dad campaign will take place in commemoration of His Majesty the King's 88th birthday anniversary. It was declared that all 24 roads on the cycling route, including Ratchadamnern Avenue, C. Ayutthaya Road, and Ramaphore Road, as well as 43 cross streets, will be off limits to motorists on the day from noon to 10 p.m. Partial closures of some roads near the Dusit Palace, which is the starting point, will begin from 9 a.m. in order for participants to form their bike processions. Police are asking participating cyclists to refrain from carrying backpacks or handbags with them during the activity, as this could cause accidents. They are also urged to commute to the event's venue by using public transport. Public buses will be operating free of charge, while those taking collapsible bikes onto the BTS SkyTrain or the MRT subway will be entitled to free rides. A meeting of the so-called Three Rivers has resolved to set a framework for the country's reforms. The group is set to meet every week after declaring national reforms to be a top priority. The minister attached to the Prime Minister's office, Suwapan Tanyuwatana, chaired the meeting of the three government agencies, which include the Cabinet, the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, and the National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA. The meeting focused on ways for the Three Rivers to cooperate and pool their efforts, as well as to facilitate the exchange of opinions. Participants discussed cooperation on the national and regional level, placing importance on visiting various areas in order to keep the public informed. Those at the meeting resolved to continue to meet every Wednesday to discuss reforms and get updated on the progress. The NRSA will be responsible for prioritizing issues while ensuring that reforms will be conducted in all areas simultaneously. Meanwhile, Constitution Drafting Commission, or the CDC, met to discuss various issues, including how senators should be selected and how to prevent senators and MPs from abusing their power for personal gain. The entire Thai aviation industry will be overhauled following a recent downgrade by the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA. Spokesperson to the Prime Minister's office, Major General Sanson Gaukamnerd, said the downgrade from Category 1 to Category 2 will prevent Thai airplanes from entering American skies. The spokesperson claimed that Thailand has made significant improvements after suggestions from the International Civil Aviation Organization, or ICAO, and the FAA. However, it remains difficult to enforce certain regulations within the required deadlines. Major General Sanson said one problem was sourcing qualified aviation staff to issue commercial pilot licenses that correspond to each type of aircraft. He believed that the FAA's ban will not have any significant impact on the Thai aviation business, given that no Thai airlines fly directly to the U.S. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said it is important for Thailand to take action to raise the standards of the civil aviation sector and restore the confidence of international air safety organizations. The government is joining hands with the Office of the National Anti-Corruption Commission, or NACC, and other related agencies to organize activities against corruption on December 8th and 9th. Deputy Prime Minister Wisnukhrangam chaired the press conference for the International Anti-Corruption Day event, which will be held under the theme Transparent Thailand, Pratet Thai Prong Sai. The event will be held at the government complex on December 8th and 9th. Every year, December 9th is designated as Anti-Corruption Day, during which officials promote their fight against corruption in a bid to create awareness on the importance of transparency in Thai society. The government places great importance on tackling the issue, which has been declared a national agenda. Previously, the government has issued certain measures to crack down on corruption, ranging from corruption legislation to setting up inspection and fact-finding committees. The government's Public Relations Department, or PRD, Director General Apinandan Tarangsi revealed that the PRD will broadcast live the important activities from the two-day event on Radio Thailand and the National Broadcasting Services of Thailand, or NBT. In addition, the department will disseminate anti-corruption PR material nationwide. Deputy Prime Minister Somkit Jatusi Pitak has confirmed all electric train projects are moving forward and the government's infrastructure investment will enter the system in the first quarter of 2016. Mr. Somkid said all electric train projects were progressing as planned and contract bidding will be held by 2016. The Orange Line train, along with several double-track railway projects and a motorway project, will be considered for cabinet approval. Mr. Somkid said the government's 100 billion baht investments, which would be dispersed in the first quarter next year, would play an important role in steering the Thai economy in the future. As for the Thai-Chinese train project, the Deputy Premier said it was moving forward as planned. He elaborated that Thailand was holding talks with China on contractors and interest rates offered by China. The Ministry of Finance expressed confidence that the Thailand-focused 2015 seminar will attract more foreign investment to the kingdom. Finance Minister Apisak Tantiwarawong said after presiding over the opening ceremony that Thailand-focused 2015 is being held to raise awareness of the country as a potential investment destination to foreign entrepreneurs. The 9th Thailand Focus was organized under the theme Opportunity, Growth and Reform. The seminar will inform attending investors that the country will soon have a constitution and that national security is no longer an issue. Public debt is only 43% of the national GDP in Thailand, while internal debt is recorded at 94%. Therefore, the government can continue to stimulate economic growth. However, the finance minister admitted that the current economic growth rate of 2.8% is considered too low for a developing nation. He said more measures will be implemented by the government to further promote growth. The National Research Council of Thailand, or NRCT, held a meeting to discuss improving the efficiency for patenting Thai inventions. Deputy Prime Minister Air Chief Marshal Prajin Chantong chaired the meeting between the NRCT and the National Science and Technology Development Agency, saying that the meeting aims to familiarize related organizations with the importance of supporting innovation in the country. He called for the establishment of a committee on the development of Thai innovation to manage the efficiency of facilitating patents. He added that utilizing Thai innovations will lead to economic and cultural growth while reducing the reliance on foreign expertise. The meeting will also create an understanding of the process of patenting inventions and the importance of innovation in Thailand. Thailand and Japan have discussed plans to set up an energy and environment research center next year. Minister of Science and Technology, Pichet Durongkawerod, stated that Thailand and Japan have agreements on 3 issues, including the establishment of the Climate Change Technology Transfer Center, a research center for technology, science and innovation, as well as a national space program. The statement follows the minister's November 24th to 28th visit to Japan, when he met with his Japanese counterpart, Hiroshi Hase. In addition, the 2 countries will cooperate on setting up an environment and energy research center at the beginning of next year. Officials also discussed the setting up of a training center for engineers in a bid to develop their skills as they play a role in supporting Japanese companies in Thailand. The Education Minister has announced his policies to administrators of vocational institutions from the public and private sector. He reiterated that all sides must work under the same framework and ensure connectivity. Education Minister General Dapong Ratanapsuwan gave a special lecture at the meeting for administrators of schools under the Office of the Private Education Commission and Office of the Vocational Education Commission. He said that Thai society has certain preconceptions about vocational institutions, despite varying degrees of excellence at each institution. He added that some educational institutes lacked skilled personnel, while some teachers have not developed their skills further. The education minister also stated that private and public education institutes lack unity in terms of management, so he therefore reiterated that educational institutes need to work under the same framework. However, the education minister expressed satisfaction concerning the Office of the Vocational Education Commission's work for carrying out government policies. Efforts by the Commission include measures to reduce quarrels, increase the number of students, help students expand their capacity, and improve their English skills. And that's it for today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. It's time for a quick break now, but first we'll take a look at the exchange rates and also the commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. First among them, to uphold the three pillars: the nation, religion, and the monarchy.
Welcome to ASEAN, a community comprised of 10 countries, each with its unique culture and history, now unifying to bring added prosperity to the region. For centuries, each country remained independent, but now we are coming together to compete in the 21st century globalized world. ASEAN is bringing together more than 600 million citizens and a total land area of 4.4 million square kilometers, and is providing economic opportunities, trade, travel, and new educational possibilities. The combined GDP of all 10 ASEAN countries comes to a total of $2.4 trillion, which means the ASEAN entity ranks amongst the world's major economic powers. The future is here. Welcome to ASEAN, the community of opportunities. The Southeast Asia region is now becoming one.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. The Ministry of Social Development and Human Security, or MSDHS, held a press conference on the ASEAN Regional Plan of Action on the Elimination of Violence Against Women and the ASEAN Regional Plan of Action on Elimination of Violence Against Children. Mr. Maitri Intusut, the MSDHS Permanent Secretary, presided over a conference in which violence against children and women was addressed internationally and regionally as an issue of global concern that can occur in any society, regardless of ethnicity, religion, or culture.
Sharing.
You have to zero in on action and then ensure that we hope in maybe 10 years that there is no violation against women and children in terms of, violation of their rights on the violence. That nobody should perform violent acts on women and children in our region, hopefully.
The event was a key milestone and an important opportunity for everyone involved to be aware of the urgent need to join hands together in dealing with the issue of violence against women and children. Now on to our global stories. U.S. officials said gunfire erupted at a holiday party at a social services agency in San Bernardino of California, leaving 14 people dead and wounding 17 others, sparking an intense manhunt for up to 3 suspects. The shooting rampage about 100 kilometers east of Los Angeles marked the deadliest U.S. gun violence since the massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut in December 2012, in which 27 people, including the gunman, were killed. San Bernardino Police Chief Jared Burguen said in a televised news briefing 3 hours after yesterday's shooting that the suspects fled the building and were believed to have made their getaway in a dark-colored sport utility vehicle. Officer Burguen said as many as 3 gunmen are still at large, adding that authorities ordered a security lockdown of all local schools, as well as city and county buildings, and area hospitals were placed on alert. Officer Burguen said he knew no possible motive behind the attack, which unfolded at about 11 a.m. at the Inland Regional Center in San Bernardino. Spokeswoman for the California Department of Developmental Services, Nancy Lundgren, said the shooting unfolded on the campus of the Inland Regional Center, one of 21 facilities set up by the state and run under contract by nonprofit organizations to serve people with developmental disabilities. Britain's parliament voted on Wednesday to launch bombing raids against Islamic State in Syria, supporting Prime Minister David Cameron's case that the country needs to help destroy militants who are plotting to kill us. After more than 10 hours of tense debate, lawmakers voted in favor of airstrikes by 397 to 223. British Tornado GR-4 bombers could leave an airbase in Cyprus within hours to launch the country's latest military action in the Middle East. Given Britain's diminished role on the world stage, the victory hands Cameron the chance to restore Britain's standing in global affairs. He had urged lawmakers not to turn their backs on allies such as France in their time of need. Many British voters are wary of being dragged into another war in the Middle East. Some view Western intervention in Iraq and Libya as a failure that sowed chaos across the region, and the news of the vote was met by howls of disgust by dozens of anti-war protesters demonstrating outside Parliament. But the November 13th attacks on Paris that killed 130 people and were claimed by Islamic State have stiffened the resolve of some lawmakers and divided the opposition Labour Party, which convinced Cameron he could win the support of Parliament for extending airstrikes beyond Iraq. And that's all we have for you in this edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, then do feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT, and have a look at our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. Today we say goodbye with footage of a fashion show featuring Star Wars-inspired designs. Have a great day. For Newsline, I'm Sandra Han. Saha. Sawadee ka.